Welcome, ARM 1555 Productions. Today I'm going to do some interviews about the Trayvon Martin case. And I like to have some insight from different people and just share it with the public. First of all, the case is really simple. The police told Zimmerman not to follow this young man, and they followed him anyway. Then a confrontation happened. As a result, a young man is dead. Life is taken away, and this man feels justified in doing it. There's only one reason why he feels justified in shooting an innocent man. The value of a black man's life, not just a black man, black people in this country, the value of their life seems to me is less valuable to other people. Now, this case here shows the whole world how black people are treated in this country. If the roles were reversed, if this case had been the other way around, and Trayvon was the shooter and Zimmerman was the victim, they would have arrested Trayvon that night and then did the investigation. They're trying to say this wasn't no hate crime, because he didn't say a certain word, but he did say they always get away. They who? We want justice, freedom, and equality, as stated by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Now, I'm going to share some other people's views on this case, because it's really one of many. This goes on all the time. This case just happened to make the news. I also want to say this while I'm talking about violence. Violence, black on black crime, must stop. It has to stop. We have to love ourselves. What I mean is, if I don't love myself, how can I love you? And to love myself, I have to know myself. To know myself, I have to study and research and learn that we are the original people of the planet Earth. We are the mothers and fathers of the universe. We should act like it and love each other. When I see you down the street, walking down the street, if I see you in the store, I should greet you as brother or sister, and vice versa. This here is a chance for us to rekindle the unity we had in the 70s. The young people are looking for guidance. They are the strongest generation we've had, and they're looking for guidance. And it's up to us to give them guidance in the right direction. Thank you.
Today we're interviewing two people from Philadelphia, and they're about to get their opinion on what they think about the Trayvon Martin case. What do you think about this whole incident surrounding Trayvon Martin?
It's a disgrace, and we're still going through a lot of racism in the country. Yes, of course we have a black president, but racism still exists. My thoughts on this here case is that it was downright murder, and that's what I really think it was. Okay, Trayvon wasn't doing anything wrong, and he was murdered. And I feel as though justice hasn't been done. Until justice has been done, we will continue to protest about this here situation. And that's all I have to say right now.
What's your opinion on this whole incident?
From Philadelphia, from the city of Philadelphia. My name's Veronica. I'm here to voice my opinion on the behalf of Trayvon Martin. To his family, I would like to give my condolences to. Also, I like to say I am angry, I'm sad, and I am very upset that this is still going on.
Besides for being angry, very upset, I just hope his family can move on from this.
Looking at it from another point of view, do you think there was any justification for the action that this Mr. Zimmerman took against Trayvon Martin?
No. Everyone has a right to be where they want at any time. And there shouldn't have to be any questions from no one about who you are or where are you going. And I think Mr. Zimmerman was wrong. Yes, he's not a police officer. He's not certified police officer, and I don't think he had the right to question Trayvon about who he was and where he was coming from, or where he was. So, first of all, when he made the 911 call to the police department, explaining to them that he saw someone suspicious in his neighborhood, and the police advised him not to follow him, he did it anyway. I really feel as though he was out to murder a black young man that particular night.
Did Trayvon have a right to defend himself?
Of course.
Okay. Now this whole thing seems kind of strange to me. You know, what do you think should be done? What action can we take?
George should be in jail. George need to be in jail. If the shoe was on the other foot, we'll be in jail. Trayvon would be in jail. Ain't no way that's self-defense. 240 pounds versus 140. Come on now, you do the math. That baby was howling for his mama and his daddy. Screaming and howling for help.
I now have two young people that's going to speak on the Trayvon Martin case. What's your opinion about this Trayvon Martin case?
Well, in my opinion, I think that it is very sad that to this day we still have to go through racial profiling and stereotypes. When it comes to any other time with a crime like this, if it was a minority or a normal, like a Spanish person or a black person, and they did this same crime, they would be immediately taken to jail and started with the process of, you know, jury and trial and murder. In this case, from what I've seen on the news and all of the information that's been given, it seems as if the police are actually covering for this man instead of serving justice and actually trying to figure out exactly what happened. It seems like they're just trying to take it as he's not important, this young man is not important, and it doesn't matter what happened to him. If his family cares about if he's dead or not, they don't need to see or learn exactly what happened that night, and justice doesn't need to be served. And that's sad to me.
And young man, what's your opinion on this?
My opinion is I'm moving to Florida, and I'm moving to a black neighborhood. When a white man jogs through my neighborhood, I will approach this man and ask him, what are you doing here? And something may happen, I don't know, but let's just say something does happen and I'm defending myself. I will leave Florida then, and that will be the end of the case, as is what's going on right now. So it'll be no need for CNN, MSNBC, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox, whoever, to be talking about me a month after, and that's all I have to say.
Share with you my feelings about the case that's the trial that's going on with Trayvon and Zimmerman, and the life that was lost, but the lives that have been affected, because there's so many lives that have been affected. Trayvon is gone, but I think there's a lot of symbolism in there and a lot of lessons to be learned. What a shame it had to take a young man's life. And I say young man, not necessarily young black man, but a young man's life, because we are all, and I speak from the heart, and I speak as a Christian, because I do not want to invoke racism in it, because I see that as just an evil spirit that permeates our world, our society, because there are so many isms in the world that affect us in a negative way. So My feelings about this case is the lessons to be learned, that it's quite, it baffles me why all of this is taking place, this court case, when there is this young man that's walking home. Once again, color does not matter. He's walking home to his father's house, ironically, his father's house, because I'm speaking in the scriptural sense, biblical sense. And all of a sudden there's someone behind him that is after him and attacks him, from what I have read, and I'm following the case closely. So to me, doesn't make a lot of sense that I'm walking along, this young man is walking along, and what are you doing here? So something had to have happened to this young man, Trayvon, from Zimmerman, walking behind me. Someone had to strike the first blow. But the logical sense to me is, if I'm walking along, just minding my own business on the phone, talking with a friend, with whomever, we met the young lady on the television the other night, because I'm following the case very closely, and he's sharing with his friend on the phone that there's someone behind me. He's innocently walking along, so why would he turn around and hit Zimmerman? It doesn't make much sense. So I think, if I am not a lawyer, I'm not an attorney by any means, but the logical deduction is, why are we going through all of this long drawn out, just bring out that fact that he's innocently walking along and he is approached. So why would he hit Zimmerman when he's innocently walking along? So maybe they need to approach it from that stance. I'm sure that's going to come out later. But to me, it's a cut and clear case. He is walking along and he is approached. I don't know who hit first, but just look at the case as it is, walking along to his home, and then he's approached by someone else. So there is self-defense on both sides. But once again, go back to the beginning, innocently walking home to his father's house, and he is approached. That ends my comment.
Okay, what do I think about the trial? It should be a trial. When this guy Zimmerman called 911 and they told him not to follow this kid, Trayvon, and he did it anyway, he did it with intent. Now, the question is, what was the intent? And we can see the outcome. The intent was to kill this young black child. So there shouldn't be a trial, at least not a trial of this magnitude. He should already be tried and found guilty. Everything else we see in the media, all that's hype. Stand your ground should be the defense. If this kid was living, he should be standing his ground because Zimmerman was following him for no reason. So he's guilty right now. It shouldn't even be a trial. The trial should be to determine what his sentence is, not whether he's innocent or guilty. He's already guilty because the police told him not to follow the child. That's all I got to say.